What's the deal? It's your boy Jason Mike, Mr. Athletic over everything, and we are back with another mail day. And yes, another mail day. As you guys can see, I just uploaded a plethora of these mail days up on on YouTube. I've literally purchased over 250 start lineups in the last 3 weeks. So I have a lot more to actually do some catching up on. So I'm doing these brief unboxings and I'll go into depth on some of the other ones individually at a later time. So let's get to it. Today's is actually a mixture of quite a few uh, levels and starting lineups and things of that nature that you guys need to look out for. I have a couple of staple starting lineups that you guys can get at a decent price at the point to where we are right now. So let's go ahead and switch to the overhead. Ooh, I didn't want to show the people's address or my address, but this one in particular, I need to check to see how much I actually paid for this one because they shipped it in a envelope. It's pretty beat up, and it's one of the key starting lineups that I was really looking forward to collecting, and I paid a decent price for it. This with tax and shipping, everything came up to around $30, and I'm not really happy with the condition that is in. Um, but to give you guys an example, this is a baseball version, and I do believe that it's a very impactful piece. And it's no other than 1988 Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Valenzuela. Now, in the pictures, I didn't see a crease, and there's a huge crease on the backside of this particular toy. And when you look at the picture, if you look at it right now, it doesn't look that bad, especially that corner. That corner doesn't look that bad, but when you flip it over, there's a monstrous crease right here. So I'm probably gonna contact the seller and see if I can get a portion of my money back, or I'll just return it. At this point in time, a figure like this, they're going for almost $45-$50 if you're getting them in good condition. At this point, it's not worth me spending 20 for a figure in this type of condition. So the bubbles all scratched up. So if they don't give me like half my money back, I'm probably just going to return it, because the pictures and they didn't indicate that they had a crease on the backside of the figure, and that's something that you guys should look out for. Don't just look at the front of the pictures. You have to look at the back and also see if they have creasing, because that's very impactful in the overall conditioning. All right. Next up. Now this one was something that I saw this one for a while, and I was kind of scared to pull the trigger on it because at the time they had it priced pretty expensively, and they had some figures that I wasn't really interested in. This one came with some headliners, which these are a very cool figure that came out in the 90s, and I actually had quite a bit of them. I actually had the Dennis Rodmans with the different hair colors, and this one right here, they have one called Jams, and they also had another David Robinson out of the package in a black jersey. This isn't what I wanted. These were just add-ons. I don't even know if these have any value at this current time, especially for David Robinson. But the big man that starred along with them, this is one I've been waiting a while for. This is going to be the first one that I have in hand, and that is the 1997 Tim Duncan. Now, I'm telling you guys now, with the rise that you see in the Kobe Bryant, his rookie year, this one will be the next of the great starting lineups. When I first got back into this about a month ago, you were able to buy this for about $20. Since then, the prices are going up all the way up to over $65 a piece for these. Um, I have, I think, 5 or 6 of these coming in over the next couple of days. But Tim Duncan, he's going into the Hall of Fame alongside Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett. So the Kevin Garnett is also gone up in value a great deal. But if you guys are out there, and I really want to give you guys a heads up, these are going to be over $100 come Hall of Fame induction time. So if you guys can find these and get them, buy them up. This is going to be the next. You already have the Kobe, you have the Jordan, the Kobe, the Scottie Pippen, the 1988 Reggie Miller. You have the other ones that are way, way more expensive, but the ones on that next tier, this is it right here, man. This one, the Allen Iverson, as well as the Shaq and the Kevin Garnett. So if you can find them, get them. And this one is in amazing condition. I'm glad I got it. I believe I paid right at $40 for it. So I'm not tripping about it. And the other little extras weren't bad either. All right. So next up, we have. Now this is the one that this is another one that looked much different in photo, but I feel as though if you got a collection, this is one you should have and must have. The Dominique Wilkins 1988. Now there's a bunch going on with this. The plastic on the bottom is raising up. Couldn't see that in pictures. The yellowing is really bad on this one. I've seen worse, but there's also creases all up in here. Now this is one I need to check to see how much I paid for it. If I paid $10-12 for it, I'm not tripping. But if I paid more than that, I'm gonna have to call the seller once again and get either half my money back or return it. Like this has creases all over it, and none of that was in the description. So don't be afraid to send it back to the seller if they did not tell you that it was scratched up or in bad condition. Now that's something I wouldn't do. If the seller put that in the profile or the description and I missed it, I'm stuck with it. But if they didn't, this has to go back. Now the one thing I will say, the card is in amazing condition. The card, see, now this might be one where I may actually keep. That card is in great condition. The 4 corners look really good on it, and these graded at nines and PSA 10s, or hundreds to even thousands of dollars. So it might be a situation where I wind up keeping it. All right, but I do believe the Dominique Wilkins should be in everyone's collection. All right, what else we got? All right. So last but not least, there was a seller in New Jersey. They actually collect. I think they collect a lot of toys. Until I get the rest of the items that I want off their page, I'll probably give you guys the information on that guy a little bit later. But he had 3 figures that I really wanted, and these are all 3 of these. I think have a place in any and everyone's collections. Now, first and foremost, let's start with the one I've already shown you guys. Okay. This one right here, I've already shown. If you watch the videos, I've shown this one 3 different times. We have the primetime Dion Sanders, arguably top 2 to 3 defensive players of all time, top 10 football players of all time. I just noticed that it's open here on the corner. Yeah, I didn't notice that early. So like I said, once again, I will not hesitate to send these back to the seller. I do not want to piss this seller off due to the fact that he has a lot of collectibles, and that's kind of what he does. He also shipped this in amazing fashion, nice box, everything was done on it correctly. But that lifting on the corner, it is problematic. This is like number 5 for me with this particular figure. I actually have 3 or 4 more coming. So yeah. So I do believe that everyone should have the prime time in their collection, especially since you're still able to get them under $30, which I don't know why, but you can still get them for about $30. But this is classic Dion prime time, catching a punt with the Jerry curl, the white jersey. Can't go wrong with this particular figure, you know. Next up is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He has a natural rival and from the same 84 draft class. And I am talking about no other than Dan Marino. Now, the Dan Marino, I just noticed. Okay, so there's like a little hole here, a pinhole or something. It must be a little speck of dirt, but these typically run about $55-$60 on average. I was actually able to get this one sub $30, and it's in good shape. It's a clean bubble. The corners on the bottom are a little rough. The card is a little rough, but it's actually in decent shape. I think you should go after Dan Marino as well as the John Elway from 1988. I don't think you could lose in that situation. I feel good about this one. Okay. Next up is a very interesting guy and also one of the nastiest runners of all time. He has one of the coolest nicknames of all time. Great running back in the early 90s, late 80s, and probably one of the coolest names of all the guys who had nicknames back then. And I'm talking about no other than the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye. Now, this particular piece, a lot of stuff with Christian Okoye carries a heavy price tag. He is very collectible, very sought after in a sense. His run wasn't as long as maybe it should have been. It was cut short, but he was a big ass dude, trucking people. I mean, knocking would-be tacklers out. I mean, dude's a beast. And I have noticed that these have been pretty pricey. I believe I got this one for roughly $16. So I'm not going to complain, too much about this one. The corners on it are good from the front. There's no lifting on the corners. The card, looks okay. But overall, I just really wanted this one in my collection. The 1990 set is very desirable. There are so many guys in this set. All the guys from like the 89 draft, 88. A lot of them got their figures in the 90s. You got Barry Sanders, Dion Sanders, Bo Jackson, I believe Bosworth, unless Bosworth was in the 88. But overall, this is like a really good start. I think a lot of these that I got today should be and would be staples in a very good starting lineup collection. The one thing I will say is that you don't want to get into collecting junk. We want to do a better well, some of these I've ordered almost 10, 12 days ago. And since then, I've learned leaps and bounds more of what I want and what I don't want in my collection. So sometimes some of the stuff that you guys are going to see, these are going to be decisions that happened when I very first started. And, with the weather situation that happened down here in Houston, the packages are all over the country and they're coming in. Like some of the stuff I ordered 10, 12 days ago. So I hope you guys liked the video and found it informative. Until next time, later.